Hey, friend, welcome back to the podcast. I'm so excited to dive into today's episode because this is a topic that so many bookkeepers wrestle with. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're on a hamster wheel in your bookkeeping business? Like, no matter how hard you work, you just can't seem to get ahead? At first, running your business solo is so exciting. You're landing clients, making money, and proving to yourself that this whole being your own boss thing actually works. You have control over your schedule, your workload, and your income. But then something shifts. You're working later and later at night. Emails are piling up, and you feel guilty every time a client follows up. You have so much on your plate that you don't even have time to think about marketing. You're running on coffee and adrenaline, telling yourself, I just need to get through this month. Sound familiar? Well, the problem is, if this has been your reality for more than a few months, something has to change. Because at some point, it's not just about getting through the month, it's about building a business that is actually sustainable. And for most bookkeepers, that means hiring help. And I know hiring feels like this big step, maybe even a little scary. So today we're breaking it all down. The biggest signs that you're ready to hire, what role to fill first so you're not wasting money, how to make hiring less overwhelming, and how to make sure your first hire is a success. By the end of this episode, you're going to feel clear, confident, and ready to take action. So let's dive in. Hey there, bookkeepers. Welcome to the Rescue My Bookkeeping Business podcast, your go-to resource for building a thriving and successful bookkeeping business. I'm Stephanie, your host and bookkeeper business bestie, here to guide you every step of the way. Each week, we'll dive into actionable tips, industry insights, real-world advice, and inspiring stories designed to help you work smarter, grow faster, and achieve the freedom and success you've been working toward. Plus, we'll have incredible guest interviews to help you take your bookkeeping business to the next level. Let's turn your big vision into your reality. It all starts here. So let's talk about what actually happens when you wait too long to hire. At first, wearing all the hats seems fine, necessary even. After all, when you're starting out, you want to keep overhead low and you want to be in control. And you think, I'll hire someone when I'm really busy. But after a while, you start noticing that you're doing way more admin work than actual client work. And you're constantly feeling behind, like no matter what, there's always more to do. Your response time to clients is slipping because there aren't enough hours in the day, and you're stuck in this feast or famine mode. When you're busy, you stop marketing. When things slow down, you panic. You're working nights and weekends just to keep up, and you're feeling resentful toward your own business. You may even be losing clients because things are slipping through the cracks. One of the biggest mistakes I see bookkeepers make is waiting until they're completely drowning to hire. Instead of being proactive, they wait until they hit a breaking point. And at that point, hiring isn't just an option, it's an emergency, which makes it even more stressful. So if you're feeling this now, it's time to start planning, because the longer you wait, the harder it gets. So how do you know if it's really time to hire? Well, ask yourself these questions. Think about, am I constantly at max capacity? If you can't take on one more client without sacrificing quality or your sanity, you need some help. Ask yourself, am I spending too much time on non-revenue generating tasks? Think things like email management, invoicing your clients, scheduling appointments, and just repetitive bookkeeping tasks that aren't the best use of your time. Ask, is my business stuck because I don't have time to work on it, not just in it? If you're so busy with client work that marketing, systems, and even strategy never happen, you're stalling your own growth. Also think about, are you missing opportunities because you're too busy? If you've had to turn away work or delay onboarding new clients because you're overwhelmed, you're leaving money on the table. Now, if you said yes to any of those, it's time to start thinking about hiring. Now, a lot of people overcomplicate this part. You don't need a whole team overnight. You just need to start with the role that will free up the most time. So, what role should you hire first? Here's how to decide. If you're buried in emails, client questions, and scheduling, it's probably time to hire a virtual assistant. Even 5 to 10 hours a week can be life-changing for you. If your bookkeeping tasks are overwhelming you, it's time to probably bring in a bookkeeping assistant. And they can handle reconciliations for you, categorizations, and even looking through and sending your clients reports. Now, if your client communication is slipping, well, it's probably time to hire an account manager to take over emails for you, making sure things are being followed up on and checking in with your clients. Now, if marketing is always the last thing on your list, trust me, I know about this. A marketing assistant can help with social media content, scheduling the posts for you, and even doing some organic outreach. Now, a pro tip for you, and take it from me, do it differently than I did it in the beginning. Start small. Hire someone for just 5 hours a week, and that can make such a huge difference. And it will help you to get more familiar with the process of hiring. Now, if you're worried about hiring, and I get it, there's so much fear that comes from bringing on more people into your business. I mean, after all, your business is your baby, right? Well, if you're thinking things like, I can't afford it, I want you to ask yourself, can you afford to stay stuck? Because hiring frees up your time so you can take on more clients and make more money. Now, if you're thinking no one can do it as well as I can, trust me, that was always my line. And you're right. Maybe at first, no one can do it as well as you can. But with proper training and clear systems, they actually can. And I found sometimes they can even do it better and bring new ideas to the table. Now, another question I get asked all the time, what if they mess up? Well, here's the thing. We're all human and we're all going to mess up at some point. However, if you set up quality control processes and review their work before it goes to your clients, you can catch these issues and then help them to learn to do it better the next time. Now, what if you've never managed people before and you're worried, I don't know how to manage people? Well, you don't need to be a perfect leader on day one. Managing people is a skill you can learn too. Now, let's talk about how to hire the right way. I want to give you some steps on this. And one of the things that I like to do with all of my coaching clients when we start working together is to do a time audit, which means making a list of everything that you do during the day. I know it sounds daunting, but trust me, it really helps. So number one of the things that I want you to do is make a list of everything you do in a week. Then I want you to look at that list and highlight tasks that don't need you to do them. You may go over it a couple of times and highlight more each time. The second thing I want you to do is decide on a budget. Start small. Even $200 to $300 a month can make a huge impact in your business. Now, number 3, create a clear job description. Be very specific about what you need help with. Number 4, find your candidates. Ask for referrals. Post in Facebook groups like our own Facebook group. Use Upwork or Indeed. Look for candidates who have experience in the items that you're needing help with. Number 5, onboard the right way. Make sure that you're giving them clear training. You set expectations and you start with small tasks. Now, if you're overwhelmed, missing opportunities, or drowning in admin, it's time to hire. Start small. Just one person, even for a few hours a week, can make a huge impact. Remember, hiring isn't an expense, it's an investment that will help you grow your business. Now, I want to hear from you. Are you thinking about hiring? Have you already made your first hire? What was your biggest challenge? Come over into our Facebook group and share with us. I'd love to continue this conversation with you. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next episode.